All right, here we go. We got a nice buildup of fur now. I think we just need to start pulling out parameters so we can adjust things on the fly. But now we got this nice base fur and it's showing properly. I would want to see if we could get do one more shrink wrap to get the actual base of the tufts touching the body. That should close up areas like this. Also don't want them to be quite so jagged looking. There's something. Just one instance? What? Fuck? Oh, I see. Okay, so this is everything that we're working with, and then inside here, okay. Should have the strand index in here. What a pain to find this every time. Hmm. Why is that? Just doesn't seem to want to store it. I guess I could. Try and so now we have it. So strand index is now saved in the geometry here. Oh, bubble. And so we could try to store it again on the instances. And we'll call this one strand index instance. And we'll use our named attribute index. Okay. So we saved that there, and now we're trying to use it to control the rotation to align this fur. But we just want to double check if that value is now saved. It should be. I don't understand. The instances, but I'm storing an attribute on it. Why is it not there? Even this one should be there. It would be, they're added in order, so it would be towards the front if we're gonna see it. We store it here, and then we put it back as an instance. Just to clarify, once I realize it, over here, we do have it here. We have it here. Oh, so it's right next to attribute. Do we have it here? No. So the only difference is that we're joining this. But strand index is getting created here. So how come these ones have it? Just to confirm. Boom. Oh. We do have to realize it. So we are realizing it right here. We have it. Okay, so let's just try something a little bit simpler. If I just store a named attribute, integer, on an instance, call this test, we have it here. So that exists. So let's try this again. We'll call this strand index instance. And we're going to put it up. So laggy. So we're going to take this. Blender, geo, node, save, instance, index. And I do capture attribute. Set store. That seems to have worked. Beautiful. So now I have a proper way to select. And I want to select here, align fur rotation with curve fur, but I only want it to be R3. Only want to be aligning these ones here. Why isn't the shrink wrap working now? One step forward, 2 steps back. That's fine. Strand index instance. But we should have our strand index as well. That's the instance one. Right here, I'm saving. Why? Ah, I see. Well. Okay. There we go. Okay. Much better. And so now there should be some directionality to all of our fluff. Hey, Mena Storm, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. We are working on some fur right now. We've created a nice little system here to align our fur strands. So we got this nice transition between the fur, the larger fur, and the body. Just looking pretty darn good, actually. Pretty darn good. Okay, so now what we want to start doing is extracting the parameters from our geometry node, which we're going to rename. And we'll call this Fur Painter 1. Now, hair edge is where we start the fur. Moving that forward will increase the range. Dang, it looks so much better. Fuck yeah. I feel like we get a bit more texture here with just some smart displacement. That's a little bit more like a shell. I mean, you can literally see it in there. So what I can do, let's turn this off really quick, turn on just the hair strands. And for each of these, I'm going to do a vertex group called, oh no, perfect. We have shrink wrap root. That's perfect. Awesome. Okay. So that's exactly what we use. So we're just going to do one more final shrink wrap. or set position, inverting it. Let's we'll do both. First, shrink wrap everything basically to 0. But our selection will be a named attribute. Shrink wrap ignore. And we're going to say equal to 0 or equal to 1 or we actually should be able to adjust this by doing a mix vector and we'll just use the original position. Let's actually swap these. Like so. And then we'll use the factor. And this way, we can kind of control that fall off a little bit better. So I want to affect just the root. So we'll just dump the attribute right in there. We want to flip it. Actually, I don't know, because Track. Just work. Why aren't the roots getting... Let me get rid of this really quick. And I'm actually going to go back and get rid of this. And we're just going to set position. Say normal. Boom, that's way out there, and then we want to scale it. We want to scale this. Using our shrink wrap ignore. So it should just be the roots now. Oh wait. Shrink wrap ignore. There we go. It should be every single one of these, though. Stand. These ones. Ah, shrink wrap root. Damn it. Okay. Okay, so now we kind of do want to set this up again. The default is 0. So in order not to change anything else, we'll do it this way. I don't want to mess with my other shrink wraps. Yeah, that's still working nicely, nice and beautiful. Okay. So then, I'm going to shrink wrap again. Just this one. Okay, that's good. Now we can flip our attribute by doing our subtract technique. Set this to 1, and that way we just invert our values. Okay, so now the roots of each strand are actually getting smushed onto the body, which I'll preview this. Boom. You can see just getting smushed right on there. Getting rid of a little bit too much. So why don't we swap this a little bit more, and we'll make it a stronger influence. We'll just say equals 1, and so that way it's just the very edge loop. Sorry, not equal. Maybe we'll say greater than 0.99. I'm confused. Okay. Now it looks like the roots are touching. It looks a little bit fluffier here. You know what? I do want to do that. Okay. 0. Selection, though, I do want to tweak it a little bit. I don't want to touch these ones at all. So we're going to say comparison not equal to 3 using my named attribute strand index. Don't touch these ones. Perfect. But I am about to tweak them a little bit as well. So we'll set position. Of these ones. Boom. What are we going to do? We're going to offset by the normal. Be sampling our mesh here. Get a vector, normal. And this is what we'll use to offset our current position. Which obviously is insanely strong right now. So we're going to scale that by using that same influence here. Shrink wrap root. Then also just multiplying it. Why does it want to go over there? But it doesn't matter. I can put it there as well. Okay, and all this should do is give like a little bit of offset to it. So that way a little less perfect. Yeah, at least it's not the perfectly clean shell now. Would love a little bit more Let's do a noise texture. And do a math. Multiply. 5.01. Okay, that's much better. Then when we originally shrink wrap the object, let's do just a smaller attachment, maybe even 0. Just so, again, we're getting this nicer edge. It's okay. Can't say I'm super thrilled with this, but why don't we just kind of adjust our selection a little bit. We'll do an end. And we'll say that this attribute for the selection has to be greater than 0.5. Put this in here. Put this in here. Okay, now that's some fluff. That's some actual fluff on there. Really need to get some normals on the material. So it catches the light a little bit better. All right. Speaking of light, it's really hard to see what's going on here. Let's make this brighter. Maybe even opacity. All right, beautiful stuff. A little bit more to do. Okay, so for our strands here, we're really trying to darken them. I'm still not really... Like, does it actually look like that here? Not at all. So different. I guess it's the... Okay, what we're looking at is the actual source texture, not the material. Over here. Definitely feel like there's a lot more visual range. Better. Okay, this is looking really good now. Really pulling up out the strands, visibility wise. Yeah, a little bit of color variation just makes all the difference. It's a little sharp on that cutoff. Let's go back to GeoNodes. Just pull out, what's that? Here. So that was our one of our final shrink wraps on the root here. So 7.001. Gorgeous. Okay, that actually looks insanely good. Oh. Only took a billion bajillion years. 1 million bajillion years. Now we're gonna take these and call shrink wrap cleanups. Delete half for mirroring. Okay, then this is kind of its own thing. This is kind of its own thing. This last one is its own thing. Okay. Gorgeous. I wish there was something I could do to smooth this out here, like when we're looking at it from certain angles. Some sort of dithering or something. Okay, I'm gonna go to the restroom really quick. We'll be right back. I'm back. Okay, so again, what we're going to do right now is start extracting all the variables that we've been tweaking and try to give ourselves some meta controls. Geometry node here. So, not sure what the second collection is there, so we'll just get rid of that because I'm sure I don't need it. You know, let's make a backup copy. Just double checking everything. It's all looking pretty good. I would love for the roots of this to look a little bit darker than they do. For some reason, they're still just kind of a light gray. Neck. I really should not have done that. Okay. Much, much better. I'm gonna take the fur one more time. I try this a lot, but I have to look at it one more time. Doesn't really seem to make a difference here. Okay, so first input. We'll just go down the list, grabbing inputs we want to control. I'd say one of the first ones is our density. So just slap that into an input. Boom. And we'll also put the seed right there, because that way we can swap it. So boom, just get slightly different distributions. Okay. Then okay, so that's the distribution. This is just storing some attributes. Let's rename it. It says storing points to delete or pairing. Now we're filling in the fur here. Not really much to control. Well, we do have the scale with mask option right here, this one value. And I guess we would call that something like minimum scale. So we could set that to a 0. And yeah, we get a lot smaller chunks. But I actually really do not want it to affect the under fur, this shorter fur. Dang, that looks so fucking good. Nice. Alright, but 0 is way too strong. So we'll set it to like 0.2. What's 1 look like? I think 0.4, something like that. 0.5 was pretty good. But that way it just kind of slowly, it slopes off a bit more. It's actually a soft transition. Okay. So there's another attribute. Now we have our curve attribute border fur. So that's how much to smooth it. That's fine with me. Hello, Arctic. This is actually our border fur offset. So if I set this to 0, did it even do anything? Not really. Okay, so that seems pretty useless. I'm just going to get rid of it. Look at our fur. It's getting a lot better now. Getting a lot better. Got this nice like transition now. That's about it. Oh, the mount. Curve to points. Oh, here we go. We're doing the length. Makes sense. I think we have to. But we'll call this input. Border per instance spacing. All right. Hello, Strat. Wow, welcome. I have a stupid question at this moment. No such thing. I'm at this moment testing new methods for making outfits from playing using subdivision and only extrude vertices, something like Shanzo is doing. But I have a problem with the magnet tool. Is it possible to make some space between extruded vertices and face what the magnet is stuck to? This moment I'm using magnet set to face and align rotation target, but I'm not sure it's the only thing what I need. Most tutorials network don't show settings of magnet. So let's make a new scene here. Where's my plane? Well, whatever. Make a new plane. So yeah, for your snapping, here, I don't think there is any sort of offsetting. Like, If you're trying to place it, but a little bit away from it, I don't think there is something quite like that. But what you could do if you're moving objects, specifically if you're moving objects, so if you have like this plane here, and you want to, let's actually make it a cube so it's easier to see. And when I stick this to the body, let's say stick to face, boom, you see it's still flush. But what I could do is actually take this object and just offset it slightly. So what's actually snapping is the origin of your object. And that way, now that I have offset in my origin, there's always going to be a little bit of space. Oh, say that. It's not doing that. Oh, I have to set. Center. There we go. Yeah. Okay. And then obviously if this was something like a sphere, and I set this to align rotation, now it will snap with the offset. So you do kind of have to just adjust the actual objects you're looking to stick, but that way it'll always be offset a certain amount. Now for edit mode, if you're snapping in edit mode, I don't think there's any way to offset it. If you're just doing vertex snapping, like it's just going to snap directly to that vertex. Yeah. You could always use a displace modifier to just give yourself a little bit of offset. So you're snapping it to the vertex, but then you add like a, so for example, if I make a plane, move it up, and we add a displace, make it very small, and then I could snap these points to the vertexes. Boom, boom, something like this. You know, I'm snapping it to those vertices, but it has an offset because I've used my displace modifier. So I think those two methods, you know, in combination probably give you a pretty good way to start dealing with snapping if you're looking for something a little more specific. Hopefully that helps. Yeah, absolutely. Got my Red Bull this morning. Whoa. Red Bull. Now when I'm extruding two vertices, can I somehow edge of this two vertices with rotation? Stick somehow edges. Not quite sure what your question would be there. Like if I take a vertice and extrude it, sounds to me like you're not using snapping. Are you looking to have it follow or something? Maybe you could do normal. Like that. So if you switch to normal, then I extrude and I use one of the either X or Y or Z, it will use the kind of direction of the edges there. Two right vertices of right side of this plane. So you want to extrude them like directly out. Extruding two vertices, can I stick somehow edge of this two vertices with rotation? I think that's so what I described is kind of close. The other thing you could do is use your 3D cursor. So if I did Shift S and put my cursor here, and then I'm in normal, but I can switch my orientation to my 3D cursor. That way I can extrude along a direct plane. But when I do a rotation, because my 3D cursor is here, and because I'm using the normal, it's going to rotate around that edge, basically. I could also rotate it like that. It's still flat. But still snapping newly created edge. This, but still snapping newly created edge. Well, as long as you have your snapping on and it's set to vertex, you can just change your selection mode. So I can select, boom, and then perhaps instead of selecting vertexes, I could do edges as well. That's weird. That's because I'm rotating. That seems a little trickier. Maybe I have to do median. There we go, median point. That certainly gets a little odd. The rotation does not seem to play nice with an edge. I mean, more like, you know, between two, this extruded vertices is new edge. I think we'll do this in a different way. Vertex by vertex connect together to make face after finishing making shape from only vertexes. There are some great retopology tools that may be better suited to what you're looking for. So I'll paste that there in chat. This is a free tool. And let's see, do they have a video? But if you're trying to build a mesh on top of another mesh, these are some great ways to basically what you're doing is retopology. And this might be a great resource for speeding up that workflow. I'm going to go back to my werewolf for now. But I hope that helps. Definitely want to make the teeth bigger. Something crazy. But we're still pulling out. I think this placement will be really helpful. Okay, perfect. Good. Good. I'm going to take this. And this is rotate towards deformed mesh. And right now it's limited by the mask, but we'll also create a new factor to control this directly with an input. Did I click it? There we go. And we'll call this same thing. Rotate. Rotate towards deformed mesh. So we can set that to 0 if we wanted to. 1, but our mesh isn't deformed right now, so it's really different. 0. And then we'll go to the next one. Boom. And here we're again scaling, and I'm just gonna do another mixed vector. Here, boom. And we'll set it to 0 to start with, default. And actually it should be 1, because we want to keep the scale at 1. Wait, what is the... Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Here. So, here. I think this placement, I just saw this video and this method looks perfect for me because I love moving stuff vertex by vertex. My small masochism. So you're just looking to make like clothing on top of a model? That's a good way to do it. I usually prefer, even with retopology, to like work vertex by vertex. A lot of the retopo flow stuff I recommend to a lot of people because a lot of people do like it. But personally, it's not how I like to retopologize. Personally. Okay, so this is what just the scale is in general. Before this, it looks different. So all right, this isn't doing anything. There, okay. That's so odd though, because when I get it. I get it. It's because I'm viewing it here, that's before it gets shrink wrapped to the body. So I think we will have to adjust our little shrinky wrap a little bit because it gets a little patchy at short influences, but that's okay. So put this here. Just much different. Saw that your method looks like magic, lots of tools, lots of nodes. Just very much different. Most people doing. You look like a guy who's sitting in the next 20 years. Getting there. Halfway. Halfway. And then this is random scale factor. Actually want it to be the other way. That. I also just would want bam, instant scale. And we'll say, I'll make a named attribute. It'll be grand index. No. Not equal to 3. So we can scale any, but the third one. And then we'll just set this to a value. I will go for now. Check your retopology tool and test stuff. What I can do, create, have a beautiful day, Sam. Same to you, Australia. Good luck with your work. Thank you for coming by. We'll catch you later. Be general for scale. Nah, no need to put general, just for scale. And the default should be 1. I'll make it 1. that overriding this? No. Because the scale here is a change. It's not setting a transform. It's a relative adjustment. Okay. So, general. Alright, and so now we have random scale, first scale. Drop this down. That. A random rotation. Another mix vector. We'd want the random to be at the far end of this factor. And we'll do this as an input. Random for rotation. So we can set this to 0. And 1. Still already feels kind of random, I guess because the scale is also random. Random scale factor. Nice even fluff. Beautiful. We can turn up the max quite a bit now because it just gives us more control. We want to be a little totally crazy. Can't have that option now. Poofy. Maybe not quite as strong. 6. 6. Excuse me. All right. That's all hooked up. We got random rotation. We got random scale. And this is scale on Y towards deformed mesh. I think we'll just change that socket, rotate towards deformed mesh. Let's just say deformed mesh influence. And of course, we get another mix factor. Hello. Maybe a little green St. Patty's Day hat for the Wolfie. He definitely has got a little bald spot. Hey, Dad. How you doing? Yeah, look. Right now he kind of looks like a poodle. So we've been working on making these, like a fur generator for the character so I can paint hair onto him. Which will be super useful. And then we'll drop this, or we'll get the input again. And we'll do our Formed mesh influence right there. Boom. Okay. So now we don't really have to worry about that. It's completely off. On. Off. Interesting. Not really doing anything right now. For the random rotation, I'm kind of capping out the maximum amount I can rotate. I don't want to do that. I would love to be able to make it. Yeah, that looks good. Beautiful stuff. Okay, I don't know why his head's so bald. Oh. Okay, that's good. Random rotation, bum bum bum. Then align for a rotation with curved fur. I don't want to mess with that one. Leave alone. Oops. That's fine. Then shrink wrappy. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Very cool. Let's test around with some different oh, you know what would be important is just looking for mask fur. They do something like this. Then, boom. All right, let's adjust the shader a little bit. I would like the base here to get a little bit lighter or match the overall tone. So let's go to shading. Can't see anything with this background. Okay, so it's the body. I want to adjust the hair. And let me save. Please don't crash. The dark hair here is really dark. Okay, that looks a little bit better. Feels a little bit more like fur. I get rid of this one in the back. color now. What if I just mute this? What are we looking like? Looks good. I love that the fur has like a direction, like a whorl. Whorl? Yeah. Actually feels like it's going all one direction. Good. Still probably a little too bright though. Let's give this a bit of color. Like a blue. We just lost a lot of detail. I think I'm just gonna probably end up recreating exactly what I had before. Ain't that just the way? I like having some of the wider strands pop out because you can see them from a distance and it helps make clear it's pretty fuzzy. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. One other thing to adjust in our geometry node. Oh, you know what? I have scale. We have minimum scale. Is there a maximum scale I could include? Where was that? Where would that be? Right here. What if I set this to like 4? So yeah, we'll make a maximum scale as well. Hello, Dragon Wolf. Maximum scale. Pop that open. Drop that there. There. Do wish that it transitioned a little bit more softly here. I wish we had like a third. So we have 1, 2. So in the future, next time I'm making fur, it'll be, we'll have a very clear buildup of size. So a small strand, small clumps, medium clump, large clump, and then probably a variation of the large clump. That way we get like a softer transition. Though it does it really well in a few spots. Boom. Look at these smaller little tufts. Fuck yeah, dude, that looks really good. I do need to, at some point, probably switch up how we assign the tufts of fur. But we're okay with that for right now. All right. Let's do one final little paint here. And then we're going to switch to some other tasks. Why is it? It just seems so dead set on giving him a little bald spot there. Wonder why. White's teeth pink. We just haven't gotten around to making the texture for them yet. All right, all there. Let's switch over to doing some painting on the body and getting some of the visual aspects of the character. Looking good. Boom, boom. Werewolf. A werewolf? A werewolf. All right, so mainly what we want to do is we have this kind of leathery base skin that we started with, and we would like to make it look a little bit more interesting. Definitely adding shadows to certain spots, like the mouth interior. Get the nose. Maybe just switch up, give a little bit more variation, a little more, so it's not so uniform. Okay, so highlights, noise, we'll start down here. Template flat. It's right here, we'll call this nose. And we'll make this black as well. We're just gonna paint in the mask nose. I did actually figure out what was going wrong with my cursor. It is simply dying. It's unfortunately kind of on its last legs. Let's just switch to using the alt like this one. Let's switch to 2K. Interesting. Yeah, I might just be dying in general. Is there a battery in here? Does appear to be my. I really can't afford to get in a new tablet right now. Okay. Get a socket or socket shadows, and this will be black along with ambient occlusion. We're gonna make AO roughness 0 or 1, and that should be good to start with. going up. Oh, you know what? It might be that spot on my... Funny. Okay, something like that. Not quite as dark as I want it to be, because we didn't turn down the ambient occlusion. Okay, so now we feel like we got a shadow there. Do the same right here on the socket. A bot! Kill the bot! Boom. Okay, not bad. Now we do have this world space shadow here. I'm going to turn that up a little. This will give us like an undershadow. Which is going to be really strong right now. But it'll help us pull out some of the roughness in certain directions, because it's a little strong, a little too glossy in some spots. That's too dark. These little pimples, micro bump. Didn't even compliment you on your high energy gameplay or leave a totally not a scam Discord deets. I know, just cut straight to the chase there. At least, you know, buy me a drink first next time. And we'll give it a little bit of height just to pop out the nose. And within this, we'll do another template flat with a fill noise. Do something like this. And we'll also set this to triplanar. Doesn't matter. Set this to triplanar. But that nose looks grungy. Let's open up my reference images. So this one's really cool. I love the way that it's been painted here. Love to do something like that, so give it a shot. Makeup is hard. as it turns out. It's a nose. We'll do. I did have this dry skin, which I thought was okay. Maybe that's what we'll use. It's fucking end. Let's turn down do position jitter, size, flow, and we'll make it kind of a grunge brush. So we kind of build up the shape in a different way. I don't know. I don't know about that. That looks okay. All right. Oh, this one. Very strange. Very. I wonder if one of the buttons was pressed in. No. So it just seems to lose track of it every now and then. Sometimes it's fine, sometimes it's not. Oh, just annoying. That's for sure. Do like a soft build up. Messed up. It's bugging me. It's gotta be the pen. Come on. Ugh, just gonna do it by hand. My mouse. I think I do have another tablet, so maybe I'll go get that set up today. All right. Alright, I kind of like that, but it'd be interesting to see how it holds up outside of Substance. Excuse me. See, not a very noticeable difference if there is one. I think there's a difference at all. It's like Twitter's down again. There we go. Interesting. I gotta see my other tablet. Okay. That's much time. All right, so we'll just be doing this by hand. I use it to pop out details. Oh, kind of feel like I have a better understanding of what I'm actually doing here. It's like just giving it details. Slow and steady wins the race with my freaking pen here. I can't move it too fast, or else it starts lagging. I just have to go kind of slow. Etching. It has to be in itself. All right. Decent amount of detail in the face. Help him pop that out. Boom, boom. So just pushing the shadows around. Try to get certain features to come out, go away, that kind of thing. So. Mouse it is. Okay, I see how this is useful now. Basically, we're just trying to push and pull, visibly push and pull the features we want to accentuate. And remove the others. too much. It's gonna paint out a little bit of it. Switch up the environment we're in too. Something a bit brighter, or it has to be the battery in this thing. It's just not tracking it all the time. It just starts losing. It's fine. Interesting. I wonder if I could have done more of this painting on the actual sculpt. Okay, let's go ahead and export this. It does feel a little bit more realistic, these kinds of planes. Wow, the nose looks terrible. The little painting and the wrinkles definitely help sell them. Alright, well, let's kind of keep going. This lighting is really impossible. something like midway between all of this. I guess this will do. I don't like that the darks are not as dark as they could be. Actually, just good. Okay. Can I export without the base shadow? Ah. Goofy. Please. Please load. I'm gonna try once more swapping the port. This is it. Pretty tempted to just bust out my VR headset and paint VR. Let me paint. Oh, well, no wonder it looks weird. I was literally on negative exposure. I don't know what that means, but nothing good. Please just let me paint. Oh my god. shadows are way too much. It's in a different color. Where's that color coming from? Is it this thing? Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, the paint's definitely a little too strong here, so we'll go ahead and set this to multiply, and then just kind of take it down a notch. But have ambient occlusion. Let's just add a little bit of it. Not a lot, but enough to help pop it. Give us the effect we're actually going for. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Where are we? No such file or directory. Let's see. Interesting. It is trying to save some random ass folder. Shit. I hope I didn't overwrite too much stuff. But for some reason it is set on saving there. Okay, broke that. Okay. Save. I wonder why it did that. Nothing about my object is still linked. Excuse me. And that's another material? Are you fucking kidding me? Ugh, tired. renaming stuff is boring. But you gotta do it. Do it. Okay. Fingernails, good. Teeth are the main thing missing currently. No, I really should set this up the other way. Okay. I'm getting tested today. Thank God. That's a bug. Makes a little more sense because I'm right-handed. Makes more sense to do all my work here, I think. All right. So. I need a bigger monitor. Got all the teeth. So what I want to export right now are the... Actually, what I want to set up right now are the UV maps for these objects. Alright, where do we have room for claws on this map? We really are quite limited when it comes to that. We got these 4 claws here. What's that? So where can we put these? There really isn't much empty space, but I could shrink the leg down a little, or the arm. Let's do the leg. Do right about there. Okay. Refresh that mesh. Reason I still have the tongue? What's that? Where is that? Tongue. I guess all the teeth are still getting included. Export or refresh. One thing we're probably missing right now. These look good. Those came out well. These ones are getting subdivided. That's in body components. I don't need her anymore. Components. guess it does look like that. Oh, that's no good. Beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful! Resolution on these might be a little too high. Came out good though. I like how they look. I'm typing. Right, look at them. Big, beautiful claws. Realize that the dense that is. Two should probably be the max one. I think our eye texture is a little boring. I think the pupil or the... Oh, let's just adjust it a few times. So we'll save here. Then we're going to open up our werewolf eye baker. We're going to take our cornea sclera, black. It wants to actually move. Then I'm going to make it even bigger. Much better. Gonna head off. Have a nice rest of the day. Sounds good, Arctic. Enjoy your day. Happy halfway through the weekday. And we'll catch you later. Bye. Color go. Gotcha. Why is it getting so washed out? I just feel like I can't see anything. It's got to be the reflection. Reflective intensity. No, actually, let's update the nose. Mouse a little bit darker. Like, these claws should be black. I go to this, they're black. Just how glossy I've made everything is betraying me. The glossiness has betrayed me. Hello, Jeannie. Welcome. All right. Not that different. Okay, that's okay. Slowly but surely, shaping up. Oh, okay. Here's what we need to do next. We need to continue making some more fur. Some fur. Well, let's leave that on. But boom, boom, boom. Go to body hair. And we have our hair strands. We're going to make a new collection called body hair face. Face here. We'll make a plane. And we'll go to GeoNodes, boom. And we'll call this place instances on mesh. And what we do is we get a collection, and we want to use our hair strand collection. Yes. So we take them, separate and reset. Very important we reset. And I'm actually going to transform geometry and rotate them 90 degrees on the x-axis. So let's just view those by themselves. So there they are. To focus on them. Working. This will be pretty simple. Then we're going to instance on point these objects, but we'll make a mesh line. We want to place them in the UV space, so not on Z, but from 0, 0 to 1, 0. And this is our count. So we'll go ahead and put this into particle count. And we'll call this X count. Then we'll do the same thing. Going the other way. This will be Y count. Okay. So we'll take these instances, instance on this point, there we go. Cool. Then we'll just take mesh to points. Boom. Vertices. Now I've got a grid of points. And then we can take our collection. Also, instance on. There we go. So, once we do that, we're going to take our geometry. And actually just do this. Where we take the mesh to points, and we go set position. And our position will be this geometry. We'll sample the UV surface. So we take our position. You want this position. We need to capture the attribute position specifically from this geometry. That should work. Oh! We just need to make sure we're doing named attribute UV map. Close. Right, so this is not scaled properly. That's why. We're actually not scaling things to the correct size. What would that be? Ah. We would just take X count, divide 1 by this value. Then combine XYZ, drop that into the Z, boom. Then basically the exact same thing, but for the Y count, put this here. See it because of the UI. Ah. I was putting it into the Z. That's incorrect. Okay, now I think we can sample properly. So take this, sample UV surface. We want the position, and we're going to sample using the coordinates from our captured position. Hello, Popstar, welcome. It should be attribute UV map. Pretty close. We're giving ourselves another way to make fur, because I do need to add some actual manual fur to my characters. So we're going in and we're adding some more fur. We only have 10 points. I have more than 10 points. This is not updating. There we go. There we go. Okay, last few things to do. We need these to inherit the geometry is normal. Hmm. Normal. I need to make a vector. Basically, when we have a plane, I can line it up with the normal. But it's not stable in any way. To get the proper direction, we have to sample. We want to sample the surface. Okay. When we're sampling the surface here, there's actually more information we would want. Ugh. We need to sample the UV space, and I need to go up to the highest point within the UV space, down to the lowest spot in the UV space for that particular sample. Okay, we're gonna call it here. It is lunchtime, and this is a good point to stop since I'm kind of stumped on kind of the best way to approach this next part. So we're gonna call it here. Thank you all for hanging out with me this morning. I will be back. Let's see, we've already worked for 4 hours. About halfway through the day. I'll probably be back sooner rather than later. I think I'm just gonna eat and then come back right away to keep working because I do have to end the stream early today. But thank you all for hanging out. I hope you're all having a wonderful Wednesday, wonderful start to your day. When we get back, we're gonna finish up making the fur for our character and move on to some more interesting stuff. But thank you all for hanging out, and see you soon. Bye Popstar, bye Genie, bye Arctic, bye Dragon Ball, J.A. Dutter. Catch you all later.